You know, with e-readers, you get to bridge the world of books and information onto a tablet-style device that has a screen that replicates paper, otherwise known as e-paper. It's far easier on the eyes, and the reader itself requires very low power to operate. You can run on a single charge for actual weeks. So in this video, I want to help you find the best e-reader for you. And I want to do that by helping you along in your decision-making process by giving you the information that you need. Now, no, we're not an AI channel. My name is Jim with Techie Tech News, and I want to present you with the best e-readers for 2025. Now, I have 6 awesome choices here, ranging from the Kindle to the Kobo models, and you will be surprised in the picks that we've made this time around. And know that we've provided links to all of these products in the description box below. Let's begin the review. Amazon Kindle Scribe, best premium e-reader. If money is no object to you and you want the most luxurious reading experience from a digital ebook reader, then the Amazon Kindle Scribe takes over from the previous model. Our whole team agreed. We absolutely loved how bright the screen is now. But the headline act, of course, are the AI features that this tablet provides. Now, people who have reviewed this tablet, ourselves and other reviewers included, have been quite impressed with them and, for once, are actually convinced that they're really useful. Now, we always thought that Kobo's handwriting recognition was the best that we've reviewed, but now after using the Kindle Scribe, we think that it surpassed the competition. The only real annoyance that really stood out on top of everything else was when you opt for the premium pen. We weren't really expecting it to actually feel like rubber on glass. And where you would think that might actually be a good thing, the feeling wasn't there. Here are some of the stats. The writing experience remains the same. Beautiful and smooth, and it was a pleasure to use. Now, we're not entirely sure that we like the new active canvas feature, where a section of the book's page realigns when you add the scribbles in a box alongside its edge, but it's subjective. Pros and cons. The screen is just brighter and more luxurious, and with its AI features, it actually feels like it's a useful piece of tech now. But here are the cons. It does come in at a much higher price, and we would much prefer that the premium pen eraser would actually have a lot more slip, as that friction just feels excessive. And for our final remarks, to be honest, you don't really need to splurge on an e-reader, as the other options on this list will do you just fine. However, some of us really do like the finer things in life, and there are just things that this e-reader as a whole can really do for you over a simple e-reader, and it feels special in your hand. So if that's something for you, just go for it. And in the future, if you need to find more tech deals, simply visit techietechdeals.com. Kobo Ellipsa 2e, best e-reader for students. If you can't decide between a tablet or an e-reader, the Amazon Kindle Scribe may be a tempting option. But the Kobo Ellipsa 2e wins here for a few simple reasons. It offers a bit more of an open ecosystem than the Kindle, with plenty of file and font support, plus the usual Kobo perks of Dropbox and Google Drive connectivity to transfer your notes and ebooks wirelessly, OneDrive support to borrow library ebooks, and a baked-in Pocket app to read long-form web articles offline. And if you will make full use of its extensive writing tools, there is a lot more value in the money here than, say, the Kindle Scribe or the Onyx Books Note Air series, particularly for students, teachers, and researchers. Here are the stats. Its 10.3-inch screen is great for reading, particularly into comics and graphic novels. Along with its upgraded processor means it's a lot faster and more responsive than its predecessor. Pros and cons. We enjoy that it is faster than its predecessor, in that it has a versatile writing set of tools, and that the ecosystem is so open to a variety of content. But that's all at the expense of hundreds of dollars. It's also starting to look dated with a plasticky design look, and it's no longer shipped with its handy sleep cover. And for our final thought, the gripes we have with this unit are not really a showstopper, as the unit does offer so much functionality. Students and teachers alike should really consider this e-reader for those reasons, plus the extra real estate this screen offers. So if you align in those settings, this is the reader for you. Amazon Kindle Colorsoft, best Kindle e-reader. It might have taken Amazon quite a while to join the color e-reader bandwagon, but we're glad that they finally did. Now, despite facing some teething problems, that being a discoloration on the screen, we found the Kindle Colorsoft to be one of the best e-readers that we've reviewed, particularly when it came to the device's performance. Scrolling was a pleasure, and we found that it was snappy with practically no ghosting to speak of. Also, it was waterproof thanks to its IPX8 certification, which means it can withstand being submerged into no more than 2 meters of fresh water for up to an hour. Here are some of the stats. Now, if you're already locked into Amazon's ecosystem, the Colorsoft is arguably the best upgrade that you can make from the older Kindles. Pros and cons. We really like the first color screen by Amazon. It has great performance and the screen is relatively good sized. However, it is expensive for a color e-reader, and it is on the cheaper side of looks. But the biggest issue that we have is that it is limited to Amazon store content. And for our final thought. So ultimately, if a Kindle e-reader is your preferred unit, you should consider this e-reader. The performance alone is enough for us to justify the hefty cost. And if you can deal with a little color and accuracy, and its bland looks, you are generally good to go. Amazon Kindle Paperwhite, best value e-reader. The Kindle Paperwhites have been a popular choice with readers for years, as they've managed to provide a good balance between price, features, and performance. Now, the headline here is the e-ink Kartra 1300 display, which has deeper blacks to make reading on whiter, warmer backgrounds easier. It also has a more responsive screen, so page turns are practically instantaneous. Now, there is a caveat here when it comes to the memory. There is only 11.5 gigabytes of usable storage out of the full 16 gigabyte unit. Now, that's still a lot, but you are paying a large sum of money here, so you should be able to get more, in our opinion. Here are the stats. Now, what we loved about this Paperwhite is that it has an absolute lack of ghosting, which typically plagues e-paper displays. But we should remind you that we did have the e-reader set to refresh with every page turn. Pros and cons. Its new 7-inch display is absolutely snappy. It is also lightweight and waterproof, not to mention that its performance was also noticeably increased. However, it is not the most ergonomic unit to hold, and it is expensive for what it offers, and we also found it to be a bit of a magnet for both dust and finger marks. So on final remarks, it's not exactly a budget unit, but it is excellent on the eyes, and it works very well. And if you can just get past some of its shortcomings, this will be one of the best e-readers that you've ever owned. Kobo Clara BW, best budget e-reader. Adopting the latest generation e-ink display was a brilliant decision because the screen on the Clara BW is not just snappy. We found it to be the sharpest e-paper display that we've tested to date. And while that may be the only major upgrade over the Clara 2E, Kobo has added a repairability to its latest range of devices. And that's thanks to its partnership with iFixit. Spare parts are now available to purchase alongside repair kits and step-by-step guides, which we believe is a step forward towards sustainability. Whether your e-reader will need a new screen at some point or a new battery, they have you sorted. Here are some of the stats. You still only get 60 gigabytes of onboard storage and that same 1500 mAh battery. But with that said, I found the battery life to be a lot more consistent now as compared to what we've seen in the past with the Clara 2E. Pros and cons. You get a nicer looking screen that's compact, lightweight, and waterproof. Not to mention that this is a lot more affordable and repairable. However, you don't get the cloud file transfer support. The exterior is kind of bland and 6 inches is a bit on the small side. And as we move on to our final thought, while you get all of Kobo's trappings, but with no Google Drive or Dropbox support, we did have to resort to side-loading books using a wired connection from a laptop or a PC, although it is extremely easy to drag and drop. Overall, it's a great value buy, particularly if you're already invested in the Kobo store. Kobo Libra Color, best overall e-reader. Kobo has done a very good job optimizing the e-ink Kaleido 3 screen to make sure that reading both in color and black and white is as good as it can be. And on top of that, the fact that Kobo has added stylus support to a device that doesn't cost much at all over its predecessor was a treat. It retains its asymmetric design that makes it handy and useful single-handedly. In fact, it's a touch lighter than its predecessor, coming in at 199.5 grams compared to the Libra 2's 215 grams, and it is also IPX8 rated. Here are some of the stats. The color screen here is the headline though. Even if you don't read much color content like comics or graphic novels, we thought the reading experience was enhanced when you could see a cover fully displayed in all the trimmings and its shades, the way it was meant to be seen. Pros and cons. We feel that it's well sized for portability, and it's relatively affordable for a color reader. It has full writing features and the ability to repair with parts. What we didn't like was some lag that came from just a couple of its features, and that the stylus was sold separately. And on to our final thoughts. Everything that we loved about the more premium Kobo devices is here. 32 gigabytes of storage, access to OneDrive, Pocket, and Kobo Plus directly from the tablet. And overall, it just does everything that we want it to do. So if there's one e-reader out there that we recommend above all else, this is the one to get. Folks, we hope you've enjoyed our new format, and if it's really working for you, please let us know. I'm really trying to add value to the user experience, and the knowledge that we've gained through reviewing these products is passed on to you to help you make a better buying decision. And if you have any more questions or in-depth questions, or you're not sure which unit you should go for, simply just ask us questions in the comment section below. And don't forget that Amazon has an excellent return policy that can help you minimize your risk. And please let us know which e-reader you would choose. Just as a reminder, all the links are posted in the video description box below. And guys, when you're done, you gotta check out the next video.